Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today is the last weekend here in Pennsylvania for rifle season.
We are back here in Sullivan County,
PA. We have 2 weeks to hunt with a rifle, and this episode is the last weekend. So that's Friday and Saturday we are hunting. My brother's also hunting with me today. He's maybe a few miles down the road.
We're planning on doing a lot of still hunting, some potential small drives with a few guys, and trying to see if we can make things happen.
Hunting buck and doe in the great big woods of Pennsylvania. It'll be fun, should be exciting. I don't know how many deer are in this area. It takes about an hour or so to walk, maybe 100 yards when you're still hunting, so I don't know how far we'll get, but hopefully we see something. Hopefully we get a shot, and
we're gonna get in there and get after them.
So stay tuned. Most of what we are walking through here in public land up in kind of north central Pennsylvania, there's 3 different types of things we're hunting in. A, hemlocks. As you can see right above me, there's tons and tons of hemlocks out here. B, we have lots of beech trees, so beech leaves. So all these are beech leaves. So in between all these big hemlocks, you'll find a bunch of beech leaves. And thirdly, you have a lot of mountain laurel. I'm not sure if that's the correct terminology, but all 3 of those things intermixed between each other. And what we essentially do is take our time and sneak through all different types of those plant life. The deer kind of wander through all those things. They kind of just meander, and you really don't know where they're going to be and when they're going to be there because it's such a big woods. It's kind of narrowed down. But over the few years, we've been determining that there's different sections where they like to hang out more so than the other. Most times, during the late season and kind of in rifle season, you'll find a lot of them in the beech leaves to eat all those nuts. What we also found out was that when it's snowing and when it's raining, they also like the hemlocks. They like spending time in the hemlock. And right now, we're off to a good start. We have kind of a scrape right there, and then there's also another scrape right there. So we just take our time and move through here, and already we're picking out sign through all this beach stuff. But I think if we continue on here, continue going straight, we should pick up on a trail, maybe see some tails.
I've been walking around for about 4 hours now, and I've yet to see any deer. I'm seeing some good sign and stuff. It's tough out here. I haven't heard anything good from Wyatt. I don't think he's had any luck either. We're gonna stick it out for the rest of the day, obviously. Tomorrow, looks like there's gonna be some rain, so I don't know.
I mean, you can see on top of the truck. It's coming down pretty good, guys. This could be a little interesting today. Pretty rainy. It is raining a little bit, so David and I are about ready to hit in the woods. This is the last day of Pennsylvania rifle season. We might chill in the car for a little bit just because it's pouring right now. Before it's around 6 o'clock, so we might give it another hour, half an hour, wait till the rain subsides a little bit, then get to our stand, sneak up to the stand, and hopefully for the best.
It's supposed to rain pretty much all day. I don't know how good the hunting will be, but we're gonna do some more still hunting probably and some drives, see if we can make something happen for us, but hopefully we see something.
That deer we saw was way over there, and David is right there. So Dave and I are heading back. We finished the morning hunt. We're gonna sneak our way back. This morning I ended up seeing a deer get up and walk probably like 100 yards away from me, 75 yards away from me. I didn't think it was bedding down. I just saw a tail get up and start moving around. And I went over there after about 30 minutes, and sure enough, it was a deer bed that deer was sleeping at or bedding down at right off the ridgeline. And then pretty much deer drives and still hunting for the rest of the day. That's mainly what we do up here when it's rainy. We love doing that. The rain kind of hides your noise and your smell a little bit. The leaves are also settled. You don't make quite as much noise. Giant buck rubs out here. Look at the size of this thing. That's a 10-inch tree. This wasn't here last week. Last week we're we were working our way up top above this. We'll probably get into a couple. Well, we just saw one down where David was that was fresh here too. That wasn't here. This is insane. There's big buck moving through here, man. So basically what we're doing right now is where we're at, you go straight up that hill, and David and I are gonna be set up. David's gonna be on this little ridge, and I'm gonna be set up kind of like maybe 200 yards below him. Dad and James are way over there, and they're pushing this hillside over a bunch of beech trees and a bunch of like thick timber, and they're gonna push that over. And the reason why they're doing that is because it's very difficult for hunters to kind of like set up in there. It's so thick you can only see about 50 yards. You really don't know where the deer are at, but in late season it's kind of raining, so pushing those deer towards us is kind of the option for getting them big bucks out of that thick timber. But the morning hunt actually was pretty good for my family. Logan ended up seeing 2 deer, I guess when he was doing some still hunting, never got shot at them. And then Dad, when he was picking up David's tree stand that we set up, and sure enough there was a deer kind of right where David would have been looking at, and kind of spooked him, and never got shot at. He couldn't even tell what it was. This is actually what we're kind of drawing out of, is the same area that I saw the biggest buck in my public land hunting career here in Pennsylvania. It was that way, maybe 100 yards or so. My belief is if we see anything, it's probably going to be a buck or a bear, even though bear's out of season. Was it dry pretty good though?
I thought it was pretty
Did you see any sign or anything? You saw some
There was
poops?
one section where I found a whole bunch of buck rubs.
Yeah. See anything? No, okay.
It would be dead if I did.
It would drop and hit the ground.
Oh, some trees.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's lots of trees in here. Yeah, you can't miss them. But I guess the plan now is head back to the truck and then go to where Dad hunts to do a drive.
Probably.
Okay. Our plan is to walk kind of down here, and then Dad and David are set up way over there. And we're kind of just pushing some deer hopefully to them. They're kind of set up on these like ridge bench lines, and kind of drop off points that, in my thinking, a deer would go if you start pushing some deer. They're gonna follow these little roots, and that's pretty much where they're set at. We'll go up to them.
I don't know if the other side is even worth it.
Okay.
It's not.
Well, let's just go ahead and push to them, and then from there we'll kind of work our way around it and see how that goes.
Okay.
Okay. I think what happened is James pushed some deer. They ended up running downhill right past me. I don't know. We'll see. How'd you guys make out?
I only saw the one, I thought.
You saw 3?
No, I think great.
Oh, great.
I only saw the one, I thought.
How'd you see? I was trying to go down at an angle, get lower, just in case you spooked a deer down low. And as I was doing that, the deer came down like 80 yards.
One or what?
There's 2 of them, I think.
I only saw one.
They started booking it downhill, which is what I was thinking. Once I started going down there, I'm like, oh, these deer could go downhill.
Yeah.
Next time we do it, we gotta get people way down,
And then work up.
and then the other people come through there. So if they go down, you're there.
And you almost have to come at a slight angle.
Yeah.
Like the bottom person goes up forward,
Yeah.
and in the middle, slowly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that when we're following down, there's people down there.
Yeah. All right. Boy, the rain's picking up, guys. You know, one of the things that James and I like to do out here is, of course, you know, shooting a deer in the episode makes it so much more fun and enjoyable for some viewers, but really that's not relatable to every single person, every single hunter out there. We want to try to make it as relatable as possible for every single person that watches this. And typically the case is you don't see deer every time, so that's, you know, and we're out here just trying to share what our experience is. That's the most important thing to us. Share what we know, share what we learn. We're not the smartest people, nor do we always kill giant, but we're out here having fun. We're out here and enjoying it. I know some people always say, well, if there's no deer, there's no big buck being shot, well, it's not a great episode. Well, I'll tell you this. Not every single time you're out in the woods, you absolutely kill a deer. But you still say, a bad day hunting is better than a good day at work. So, what does that tell you? All right, guys, we're doing our last little hurrah, as they say. David's going in that way, and James and I are gonna go down here, cut off to the right a little bit. Dad's in the truck. But I'll tell you what, Pennsylvania deer hunting, man, is it's a challenge, especially in areas that are so large with populations that maybe of deer that maybe aren't there, maybe are there. Probably one of the toughest years of hunting we've had here in Pennsylvania for some reason. James, what are kind of your thoughts on doing all this public land hunting here in PA?
It's a lot of fun, but it's also very discouraging at the same time. You go out time and time again, see a couple deer, see no deer, and then how do you keep on going? But, you know, I felt like we learned a lot about where the deer tend to be, but if there's low numbers, you know, what are the odds that they're there at that time? If there's a lot of deer, you know, that your odds are increased that they're in the areas you're hunting. But I think with the snow, especially those first couple days, we were able to see where the deer have a tendency to be as of this year. You know, that could change next year, but definitely for next year, we'll come in here and we're gonna be scouting spots in the same sort of areas we found a lot of good signs this year.
With that being said, man, there's just so much land and you're only 4 or 5 guys. How much land can you cover? You know, so it just takes time, takes scouting, and you know, for the most part, public land hunting is tough. But if you guys kind of enjoyed these episodes, feel free to go ahead and subscribe. If you want to see more, click that bell. If you want to stay tuned for new episodes to come out. You'll be one of the first people to see it. Also, like, comment. Hey, comment for today's episode. Comment if you hunt public land, what's your success rate? And do you see a lot of deer? Until next time, stay safe and good luck.